Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video from Australian music icon Archie Roach. And through him being an Indigenous elder in this country, we were able to talk about how he tweaked Australian consciousness. Rest in peace, Archie, who left us in July 2022. We're going from there to a guy that was born in Queens, New York City in 1941, singer, poet and actor, and together with Paul Simon created one of the most successful duos of all time. And when you hear Paul Simon, you know I'm talking about Art Garfunkel. Now, Art and Paul knew each other from a very young age, around the age of 10. And it was around 1963 that they thought, well, hang on a minute, we can do this thing. And then so Simon and Garfunkel were formed, very much around that song Sounds of Silence. But instead of getting onto Simon and Garfunkel too much today, because what we're doing is this is going to be a bit of a mini series. We're going to do Art Garfunkel today. And then you can't talk about Art Garfunkel and not look at Bridge Over Troubled Water. And of course, that's a song which is kind of timeless and in a genre all of its own. We're going to give that one its own video next time. We're then going to follow up with Simon and Garfunkel a little bit more after that, and then we're going to go on to Paul Simon after that. So you'll hear a little bit more about Simon and Garfunkel in a little while. But between 1964 and 1970, they did release 5 studio albums, 4 live albums, and sort of were very, very successful duo, that is for sure. Art Garfunkel, sort of around that time, he then continued on his career in solo right, and between 1973 and 2007, he released 10 studio albums, 1 live album, 8 compilation albums, and 29 singles. That's pretty amazing output right there. He's received 6 Grammy Awards, and won many for that song we're going to talk about next time, including a Lifetime Achievement Award. And he's also received a Britannia Award, and in 1990 was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Paul Simon as part of Simon and Garfunkel. Now, what can we say about Art Garfunkel? First of all, his incredible range. He's got an amazing range, this guy. His voice is so pure and beautiful. You just get swept along by just the beauty of his voice. It transcends vocal almost into something else. This is what makes him so compelling as a singer. In fact, Rolling Stone put him 86th number 86 and the 100th best singers of all time. So that's pretty significant right there. It's just a whimsicalness about this guy, an out-of-worldness about this guy. You can almost imagine angels singing, because it just is so effortless and easy. And in a lot of ways, and I'm going to use this word today for this guy because I believe Art Garfunkel is distinctive. There's no one else even remotely like this guy, with his whimsicalness, his range, his quality, the whole thing. No one even comes close to what this guy can actually do with his voice, and he has well and truly entertained millions around the world for years and years and years. This guy, he cites his favorite album as Rumours from Fleetwood Mac, and his favorite song Here, There and Everywhere, which is one of those Beatles, Lennon and McCartney classics. And so they are very much his influences. But when you think about Art Garfunkel, you're really thinking folk, maybe folk rock, soft rock, that kind of genre. And, you go along to his concert knowing that you're going to have an absolutely amazing time, because his voice is just absolutely stunning. So it was in, so obviously, Simon and Garfunkel have got back a few more times, but we're going to they've had a reunion a few times, but we'll get onto them a little bit later. 1978, actually, and this is the number 1 hit for Art Garfunkel. The movie Watership Down came out. Now, Watership Down was based on a novel written by Richard Adams in 1972, and it followed the story of rabbits who, I think, having not seen the movie, but looking at the clips, it looked like they had to leave where they were living, their glen they were living in because of development, and they travelled across the countryside, and amongst all of that, they learnt about what danger was, what death was, what being courageous was. And in fact, these rabbits were a very thoughtful bunch of guys because they had their own culture, their own mythology, and their own language, and also some proverbs. So there's almost a bit of an ethereal, prophetic, spiritual nature to this movie. And so when you think about the song Bright Eyes, it's a beautiful reflection on the movie, and that is, it's through our eyes that we see the world, and it's through the eyes that people see into your soul as well. And so as the eyes grow brighter and clearer and they see more and more things, they become even more powerful. And this is certainly what Watership Down was all about. The rabbits learnt so much about themselves and about each other during their journey, and their eyes got brighter and brighter and brighter. Of course, if you're a rabbit in the wilderness and you're surrounded by a road with cars and hawks and foxes and all sorts of things, you've got to be pretty alert, and you've got to be pretty with it, or else you're not going to survive. And as the cases of the movie, some didn't actually survive. So, but in amongst that survival instinct that's growing, there's also this observation of how the world can be different, and how rich and valuable and beautiful it is. And it changes, because if you're just in your own place the whole time, you don't get to see the world and how beautiful and wonderful it is. And there are some things that you just can't unsee. You can't unsee the Grand Canyon, for instance. You can't unsee a beautiful waterfall, nor would you want to, because our eyes become brighter and amazed by the wonder of it. Well, so Bright Eyes was written to very much capture this whole thing of this movie. And the best person to sing this one, because we needed someone who could capture that whole essence of this song, and Art Garfunkel was chosen to do that one. Perfect choice for this song. And he brought this song to life, and he brought this song beauty into the world, unlike anybody else who could ever do it as well as this guy could. And I think it's so beautiful, and Bright Eyes is just one of those songs that I always think of and remember with a bit of fondness as an absolutely beautiful song. So I think the challenge for all of us is, as we look through this world, see it as a place of wonder. It doesn't matter where you're from or what you've been through or what life has thrown in your direction. There is still beauty and wonder, and the thing is that if you're in a place of darkness right now and you're looking for some brightness would be really, really wonderful, well, they might come in slithers. Like, look outside, you see a cloud, or you'll see a bird, or you see something, you think, oh wow, that's pretty cool. You look at the cloud for a bit more and you think, oh, it's got a bit of a picture and a bit of an image in there as well. And very much the concept of Bright Eyes being a journey, and that is a journey towards more self-realization, more wonder, more everything, as we discover the beauty of the world that's around us and the beauty of the people around us as well. And we might use our bright eyes to actually make a positive difference in our small part of the world, because there are millions of small parts in the world. And you might be the only one thinking, well, what can I do in my small part of the world? Well, you can smile at somebody. Or when you go to a checkout, the main reason you go is not to buy the food, it's to say hi to the checkout person and all the rest of it. So always look for the opportunities to shine your bright eyes into the world, and hopefully that will encourage others to show theirs. So, good on you, Watership Down, and also Art Garfunkel for bringing out this absolutely beautiful song in 1978. Well, on to the clips. So, Art Garfunkel, again, the best way to experience this guy is actually to experience him in some videos. And again, when I haven't got someone in Garfunkel today, we'll get onto them a bit later. But I thought I would bring in Bright Eyes. We've got the official clip, which just kind of goes along with the animated story a little bit. there's a few clips about this one going around. There's the one that I can remember where there's this like mythological rabbit that's leaping around the place. And I think it's very much a symbol of the bright eyes emerging and playing in the sun. So we've got an official clip of that one, and of course we've got to have a live version of this one, and it's just so effortless. What can we say? It is absolutely stunning, and wow, it's an absolute privilege to see what human beings are capable of, and Art Garfunkel is an absolute master at singing. Incredible range, incredible voice, but a beautiful tenderness and humbleness to his tone, which just makes him awesome, really. So sit back, grab a coffee, sit down and relax and watch both of those clips. And I thought, well, let's get another Art Garfunkel song because, 29 singles is pretty amazing. 10 studio albums. All I Know. This was written by the iconic Jimmy Webb, who also wrote MacArthur Park, and also a song by Toto called Home of the Brave, which is a pretty incredible song, that one. Gee, it's going to be a while till we get to those guys. But this came off the 1973 album Angel Clare. So this was pretty well early on in Art Garfunkel's solo career, but a very significant song for him. And people just sort of know this one and kind of hang out to hear this one. This is all about love and interactions with love, and all I know about it right now. I may not know everything, but I know some bits and how we're going with that. So that's a live version, which is pretty amazing. There's some incredible piano playing going on behind the scenes here as well. So the links to those 3 songs are in the description below. And I've also included my last video from Archie Roach. So if you want a recap on him, feel free. Well, and so the Simon Garfunkel journey begins. It was great to look at Art Garfunkel today. I suppose I was inspired, given he starts with A. I hadn't done him. And then it kind of made sense. Well, you've got to do everybody else in that kind of group. So that's where we're headed. So next time, as I promised, it would make sense to go from here to Bridge Over Troubled Water. Now, this is an iconic, one of the best songs of all time. This one, it deserves a video all of its own, given its iconic status in the world, and so that's where we're headed next time. So until then, bye for now.